The crowd roars with all its might as the all-star players appear to make history. The football game begins, and already the pressure is on as the quarterback goes into the pocket. He throws and he's picked off. What a play by the defender. All seems well in this stadium, but outside its walls, the biggest event in National Football and American Football League history is about to happen. Is this really the path that led to the NFL success, or was it all a scam originating from the AFL? Many people say that AFL should have never existed, or that the AFL should have stayed independent. I believe that it was in the interest of both leagues to merge, because had they not merged, they would have suffered financial losses and lost fan support. Art Modell, owner of the Browns 1961 to 95, stated, "They were destroying each other. We had to do something about it." From the beginning of the National Football League, it has dominated the stage and has been hailed as America's #1 sports league, gaining its popularity every year. In 1941, the NFL absorbed its finest challenger, the All-American Football Conference. It was not until 1960 that the league met an American Football League opponent worthy of notice. Bill Curry, Colts center, 1967-72, mentioned in a video that the NFL said, "I am the National Football League and you're not," to the AFL. Even followers of the American Football League agreed with Dan Daly of the Washington Times said, "It was 10 years of us versus them." It's not all about experience. Sometimes it's about determination, and that's what the AFL showed. In the end, the AFL beat all odds, and the struggle between the leagues commenced as they competed for fans, players, and coaches. Fighting like cats and dogs until 1966, both leagues finally realized they were actually losing money. Pete Rozelle, commissioner of the National Football League, and Al Davis, commissioner of the American Football League, finally had the brains in 1966 to end this war once and for all. To begin peace between the AFL and the NFL, two leagues decided to host an annual Super Bowl to determine the champion team and league. As for the AFL, they were as welcome to the NFL as skunks at a lawn party. You would think this war was finally over, but no. Instead of fighting financially, the NFL and the AFL were fighting physically. Hatred and contention toward one another grew after the first Super Bowl in 1967, where the Green Bay Packers demolished the Kansas City Chiefs 35-10. Real physical fights broke out among the players and fans. I think the Kansas City Chiefs is a real tough football team, but it doesn't compare to the National Football League teams. That's what you want me to say? I said it. Vince Lombardi, head coach of the Packers, 1959-67, declared. Many fans and players' feelings were hurt, and some were incensed by that comment. Not only did Lombardi aggravate many people, but the comment also destroyed the peace between the two leagues. "I hope this is a habit," Lombardi said. "It's become a semi-habit," Pete Rozelle noted after the Green Bay Packers won the second Super Bowl in 1968. It didn't even cross Pete Rozelle's mind once that this merger was meant to bring peace between the two leagues. I think the only reason the NFL and the AFL agreed to merge was because of their financial loss, not to create unity. The merger, however, produced unexpected results. It created one powerful league. Just when the AFL was starting to lose hope, Super Bowl III took place in 1969. Joe Namath and the Jets beat Johnny Unitas and the Colts 16-7 to give the AFL confidence for a brighter future. This was one of the biggest games in AFL history. No one could believe the Jets won, not even AFL fans. This might have angered many fans, players, and staff of the NFL, but Super Bowl III set up what we know today as American football. Super Bowl III established the leagues as equals. Years after the merger had occurred, bitterness within the leagues finally dissipated. It was not until 1966 that it became as sure as death and taxes that these two leagues were bound to merge. The AFL and the NFL were both stubborn. Neither would back down from a fight, and as a result, the bidding war for college players was underway. An unbelievable amount of money was lost. Players were stolen, and fans were angry. This war just had to stop, but for another reason that the NFL and the AFL thought at the time. The two leagues had to merge, not for the financial benefit of the NFL and the AFL executives, but in order to create peace and show fans the future of the American football was more important than fighting a pointless war. As Dan Rooney, the Steelers' owner, acknowledges, the merger of the two had very much to do with making the National League the favorite sport in America. I still question the 10-year conflict between the NFL and the AFL. However, I'm as proud as a peacock to say that this highly regarded league, called the National Football League, would have never reached its apex if not for the greatest people who worked their butts off to create this merger and show the people of America what this league was made up once and for all.